Hey folks, David Stewart here. They will keep shoveling sequel slop down your throats until you choke and die. They will never stop making sequel slop. Or in the case of what I just saw, prequel slop. So I really hate movie trailers. I have come to really despise them. I think they're very, very annoying with their cuts, the sound effects, the shoots and the thunks that are constantly going on, the rapid succession of one-liners designed to stimulate you into going to watch a movie. I really hate movie trailers, but I happened to see one that I couldn't look away from. It was like a train wreck. It was so horrible to look at. It was such an aesthetic disaster. And that was another live-action CGI Lion King movie, like photorealistic CGI one that they made like in 2019. Apparently, because I had to look this up, I was like, why would they make another one of these considering how ugly and horrific the first one looked? And the answer was because it made a lot of money. And that's the answer to what are they thinking when they look at these horribly animated mandrills with trying to do expressive emotions kind of plastered onto realistic cat and monkey faces. Like, what are they thinking? And they're thinking people who were born in the 80s and 90s grew up with The Lion King. They will drag their kids on Christmas break, because this comes out on the December 20th. They're going to drag them to see this slop. And we're going to make money doing it. That's why they're going to do it. It's because people won't stop watching garbage. Over the summer, I actually went to a movie, and it was Despicable Me 4. So it was actually movie number 6 in the MCU, not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the Minions Cinematic Universe. It wasn't actually a bad movie. Like, it was full of competent writing, which made it kind of rare for like family movies and blockbusters these days, I guess. But every single preview that I saw was for a sequel or a reboot or a prequel. And so this new Lion King movie is a prequel, is what it looks like. It looks like it's about Mufasa. So, right, it's a prequel. So I will give them slight props in that they're not just remaking The Lion King yet again or remaking one of the many direct-to-home video sequels they did. They even did like an interquel Lion King movie, like Lion King 1.5. It's actually not bad. But that's in the past, and so they're remaking it. At least this one will be, I guess, a new story, but it'll be a prequel for the Lion King cinematic universe. Everything's a cinematic universe. You're going to get sequels forever until you stop going to see them. And what I've learned is that my audience that agrees with me, for the most part, I hope you guys agree with me, and like don't just go see the Sloppa Sloppa every single year. I can't help it. Sometimes I see Sloppa Sloppa because I live with normies, and normies want to see slop. But maybe you experience that. Normies, they're just going to keep seeing this. There's a Toy Story 5. There's going to be a Toy Story 6. There's going to be a Toy Story 7. They're going to beat the What If Toys Had Feelings horse to death. Then they're going to render that horse into glue. They're going to put the glue into a new horse mold, put it up as a nice statue, and then beat that glue statue into oblivion. We're not going to get new good things. So the 1980s, where you had high concept blockbuster movies that had big budgets, they were new stories, they were original ideas, that's never coming back. You're getting Terminator 12 if you like R-rated movies. You're getting Predator 16. You're going to get, if you like kids movies, you're going to get Lion King live action reboot prequel number 1. And there's might be another prequel number 2. We'll do like Where's Scar or something, right? It's just going to continue forever at this point. And it's because they keep making money doing it. They don't have to think of anything original. And in fact, it's beneficial to not do something original. I think I saw a preview for a movie called like Wild Robot, and that's all I ever heard of that. I didn't even know it came out. Someone was like, oh yeah, this movie bombed, I think. I was like, oh, okay. I don't even remember it. And if it doesn't cue nostalgia in Gen Y or 90s kids, then it's not even worth doing at this point. They know their market and they know how to make money with it, and that's what they're going to do. They don't need to have quality. They don't need to take risks, so they're not going to do it. This will be the state of movies. It's been the state of movies at this point for like 9 or 10 years, and it's going to continue to be the state of movies going forward, and as well as the state of TV, because right after that preview, I watched another video, and boom, I really hate trailers, and I hated this Star Wars series trailer. I think it's called Skeleton Crew. It's about kids in Star Wars, kids doing Star Wars stuff with there's Star Wars aesthetics. Their buttons are Star Warsy, and there's Star Warsy ships, and the kids are wearing lived-in Star Warsy clothes. And one of them's an alien. One of them's the blue-nosed alien from Return of the Jedi, I think. That species, whatever. They're doing another one of those. They're going to keep making series to sell Disney Plus because they know that there's people who will watch it, right? Even if they haven't liked anything from Star Wars in 10 years, they'll watch the new Star Wars thing because they watch every single Star Wars thing that comes out there. They'll always be watching it. And maybe they look at it and they're like, well, I've liked they like one thing out of the last 20 that Disney's done. They'll still watch the new one because that could be that one thing. And they know that they like Star Wars and they really want Star Wars to be good. They're emotionally invested in it. Maybe they even have like a religious attachment to Star Wars. That's what I really learned at this point, like 9 years ago with Force Awakens, is that people have a religious attachment to Star Wars. They're not going to give it up. And Disney knows this. So the only risk that you have to take is the upside risk, which is like, if we make something that is about kids, maybe kids will watch it. And maybe they won't cancel their Disney Plus subscription, and maybe people will re-up their Disney Plus subscription to watch the Star Wars slop, right? I can't, I wonder how they make money doing it, but they must in some way, or they probably wouldn't keep doing it this long. Either that, or I think probably a lot of us have severely underestimated how long slop can get put out that loses money before there's like a course correction. A company like Disney that has giant assets can leverage that debt for years and years and years. So going broke, I don't know. We're like the skeleton meme, waiting for Disney to go broke from making slop. I don't think it's going to happen. I think normies are going to continue buying the slop because they continue making the slop. And I guarantee you there's going to be someone that's watching this, they're going to type a comment about how excited they are to see another Lion King movie somewhere. You're going to run into normies. I'll talk to someone in a couple of days and they'll be like, did you see they're making another Lion King movie? And I'll be like, yeah, it was horrible. Like, it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's an aesthetic disaster. The animation is a horror show, right? It looks like steaming, flaming cow crap. Why would anyone watch this? And the answer is because I liked Lion King in the 1990s, and I bought the VHSs. My parents bought me the VHSs in the 1990s. So I'm going to spend $50 to take my family to this one because I like this thing. And that's the answer. They figured it out, right? They figured it out. So that's what you're going to get. If you want to go back to high concept stuff, it's not going to happen. Not until everybody stops shoveling the slop into their mouths, shoveling the sequel slop. Anyway, I think what we'll probably see as far as originality is smaller budget movies, independent movies. That's where you're going to get the new and interesting ideas, if anybody's really willing to do them, or you're going to see them from games, or you're going to see them, of course, in the book space, because books are like the cheapest thing that you can make. So they're the easiest thing to come up with new ideas for and to spin it out and see what people like. So anyway, leave me your thoughts down below. I'd love to know what you think about, I don't know, this awful idea of photorealistic animation of plastering emotions onto CGI animal faces. Maybe you like that. Maybe you thought the expressions in the first one were really good. I didn't watch the whole movie. I just saw like little scenes of it, and what I saw was enough to say I couldn't sit through an hour and a half of that crap, and I'm not going to sit through an hour and a half of the new crap. Even if I could make money on a review, like, I got to draw the line. That's why I stopped doing movie reviews. Is like I can't keep giving the money to like try to make video reviews of bad, crappy movies that we can all like have a vent over how bad Hollywood movies are. Like, we just have to stop eating the slop, guys. So anyway, leave me your thoughts down below. Of course, you can read an original novel. If you're on my Patreon, you can get a novel this month that has never been, well, it was on Kindle Vela, but we don't talk about Kindle Vela. So that means nobody actually has read it before. It's called The Bright Children. It's a rather unique dark fantasy novel, so you can check that out. If you liked, say, the Drizzt Do'Urden books by R.A. Salvatore, You might like this one because it takes place in like a world without a sun. So there's some interesting things that happen there, and of course it has to do with the mythology in a lot of my other fantasy books. So please check that out and consider subscribing. Of course, you get actually extra books too, so that's just a monthly book. Everybody gets this one, Keys to Prolific Creativity, my creativity manual, and you actually get 2 extra books in the form of the blog posts that are there, because I wrote a book earlier this year live, and so you get copies of that, so you can read that book. It's called Sorcerer's Blood. And then I'm writing one now live on Friday nights that it's not finished, but you can read the first like 80,000 words of it, which is pretty cool. So anyway, that's what you get for that membership. So please consider joining me and supporting me on my creative adventures. And I'll see you all next time. Leave me your thoughts down below. Have a great one.